Hi guys, Darth Deuces here, back with another Star Wars The Black Series action figure review. Today, taking a look at a recent release. This is the Black Series New Republic security droid from The Mandalorian. It has appeared in, I think, both the seasons now, and is part of the Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of wave, I think. I don't know, the release for figures and whatnot is so weird these days, where it's hard to keep track of what wave figures belong to. But yeah, kind of an interesting character for them to make a figure of, honestly. I wouldn't have expected them to make a figure of this guy, at least not anytime soon. I guess it's been a while since the season's come out, but yeah, we got it. And maybe not the most interesting character to get in Black Series form, but I think it's pretty cool. We don't have a whole lot of New Republic military sort of army builders or hardware or anything like that. We haven't seen much in any shows or anything, to be fair. So I think it's kind of cool to see some of the equipment and infantry that they used and start getting some of them in action figure form. One thing I do like about this figure, this droid design, I guess, is how similar it is to the KX security droids that K2SO belongs to, which I think is kind of cool. And this figure does, because the droids are similar, is engineered quite similarly to that Black Series K2SO from a number of years back. But taking a look at the figure, it's pretty nicely sculpted and painted. The head sculpt is pretty cool. It's got the yellow for the eyes, I guess, scanner. I don't know what you call that on a droid. Sensors. And you got some nice painted detail on the back of the head. One thing to keep in mind, he's got this really small antennae on the top of his head. It is not a soft plastic. It's a very rigid plastic. And the way it's packaging, the bubble in the packaging, be careful when removing it. You could maybe snap that off by accident. I think I did put a little bit of stress on mine, so be careful. But that looks good. And then on the neck and on the torso, you got a darker sort of gunmetal color. Some nice paint apps for those details. A really nice, clean New Republic symbol there on the chest. The shoulders look really good. Similarly done to how the Stormtrooper shoulder pads are done. So they move freely with the shoulder, which is nice. You can see some of those K2SO sort of elements, the cylinder arms. You've got the circular joints with the clear pieces in the middle. That all looks really good. I really like the waist, actually. It's painted nicely, but you also have all these different sculpted wirings and then this little spine in the back, which I think looks really cool. So that's nice detail. You got another New Republic logo there on the back. Some more nice paint apps on the back, controls or whatever's going on there. You got a very Stormtrooper-like looking thing on the back of where a belt would be. It looks kind of like the Stormtrooper thermal detonator, which I think is kind of interesting. But that's theirs. That's cool. And just around the waist itself, kind of looks like it's wearing a belt. It's kind of funny. Some nice details around these hip joints here. The legs, very KX security droid-like with how they're designed. Some more of those clear pins for the joints. And the feet with these like two toes look pretty good. So yeah, I mean, there's not a ton to talk about. You can kind of see for yourself, but I think it looks pretty good to how the droids looked in the show. I suppose maybe the gray could have been a shinier silver, I guess. It's been a while since I watched the show, but I think these look pretty accurate to how they looked in the show, I think. But yeah, I like how this looks a lot. I think it looks cool. Cool new droid. In terms of articulation, it's pretty well articulated. You got a dumbbell joint in the neck or head as well as the base and neck, so he looks up a lot. Looks down a fair amount. Pivots a fair amount, rotates is good. Hinges in the shoulders are actually a bit more hindered than I thought they would be. They go only up to about there. I don't want to force it much more because I feel like I'm stressing the plastic. So that's a little unfortunate, but not a massive deal. They rotate all the way. Swivels at just above the elbow joint, a 90-degree bend at the elbow, rotation at the wrist, in and out at the wrist. Ball joint at the torso. Goes back just a bit, doesn't crunch forward like almost at all, honestly. Pivots a bit, rotates. Hip joints, there's two joints in there, so they spread out about that far. They go in a bit. You can kick them all the way out. They do go back a fair amount as well. A bit of rotation there at that joint. You can rotate it in and rotate it out pretty good. A swivel above the knee. Single hinge at the knee, which goes about 90. Hinges at the ankle, moves all the way in, all the way down, and then ankle rocker. So pretty decent articulation. Obviously, there are some limitations. I'm not planning to put these guys in any crazy poses, though. Just kind of them stand there and kind of ready for action. But yeah, pretty decent articulation. In terms of accessories, it only comes with one accessory, being this blaster which we've seen with multiple Rebel Trooper figures at this point. The Fleet Troopers, the Hoth Troopers. I think maybe Lando Calrissian has come with this gun. A lot of different characters have come with this blaster at this point, but it does have a few bits of silver paint on it, which is nice. Makes it look a little better. He does have a trigger finger hand in the right hand, designed specifically to hold the blaster. That looks good. Looks good with it. It's pretty easy to get him in two-handed poses as well if you want to do that. That's no problem. Super easy. Looks pretty good. So that's cool. Do wish you would have came with a little more, I guess. Would have been really neat if they maybe did an interchangeable forearm to have the little thingy pole that pokes out to unlock the doors. I think that's how it worked in the show. Again, it's been a while since I watched it, but that would have been cool. Also, in the second season, when they're guarding that scrapyard that Mayfeld's at, they have shock batons. It would have been nice to include the shock baton as well, but that's all right. The blaster is good. It looks good. It is what it is. Before I end off here, we will do some comparison real quick. So I think the biggest comparison is with the Black Series K2SO from a number of years back. And yeah, you'll see them here. Definitely can tell how they're similar. You can also tell how they're different. K2SO is still really tall and towers over this one. This one is a bit shorter, a bit more in line with standard sized characters. And then K2SO's got kind of more stormtroopery kind of elements to him, more Imperial elements to him. Still really like this K2SO figure. Picking this up, I haven't messed with the K2SO Black Series in a long time. It's just been sitting on the shelf, but picking it back up for this review, I remembered my appreciation for it. It's still a really nice figure. It aged really well, and you can still get it. It's been relatively recently reissued. So if you missed out on this figure before, I definitely recommend picking this one up too. But that's how they look together. Of course, it's from his show. We should put him up against Mando. Stan's just a bit taller than Mando. And I'd say Mando is your average 6-inch scale figure for the most part. So I think that works out good. And then for fun, another droid from the same season 1 episode here is Zero. Again, Zero is more standard human size, so the security droid stands a bit taller. But overall, this figure I think is actually kind of a surprise. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do. Honestly, I wasn't even sure if I was even going to bother picking it up. But now that I do have it, I don't regret it or anything. It's actually a really nice Black Series figure. Will it make my top 10 of the year? Probably not. But I think it's really cool for being just kind of like a standard like bad guy for the hero character to destroy. So if you've been collecting the Mando stuff, if you like collecting different droids, he fell over. If you like collecting different droids, yeah, I would definitely recommend picking this one up. It's a cool one for sure, and definitely looks pretty cool on the shelf with your Mando figures or with whatever figures you want to display it with, really. I feel like this figure's definitely got quite a bit of versatility. Anyways, that's all I got to say for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Check out my Instagram, which I will link down in the description of this video. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. May the Force be with you.